go. Welcome back to the station. Welcome back to the channel. Y'all know who it is, your boy Ray G. You can find me on X at Ray GQ. I'm in here live today with the community, patrons, the Discord members, the website subscribers, my Discord DD family. Come join the community. Get in here. We have a lot of good stuff happening. Live shows, fantasy football, NFL. We just had a big talk about receivers and their historical hit rate in here. So if you're looking for a dope community, good people, you see them in the chat, Alex and Giles and Cheeky and Dewey and Sean and Terrell and Slippy, Sean, good people in here. Get over in the community. But we got to do it. 2-round NFL mock. We got the combine next week starting Thursday. It's that time, right? More people are doing this. The casuals are over. We're talking NFL. So I wanted to do this with the community to get some input for some of these picks. We're going 2 rounds. So let's get right into it. We're not going to play around at the top. Fernando Mendoza, he's going to the Raiders. We all know it. We're excited for it. We'll see how it works out with Clint Kubiak. At number 2, the Jets need a lot. Arvell, Reese, Caleb Downs, Ruben Bain, offensive line. I think they can go in a litany of directions right here. From people that I've talked to, it feels like defense is the way that they're going to lean right here. And it's anybody's guess. It could be Caleb Downs. It could be David Bailey. I've seen him go as high as 2. I'm going to take who I think is just the best defender, not named Caleb Downs, in the draft right now. And I think it's Ruben Bain. Terrell said the Jets need to pull to Cleveland and trade the pick. If you're going to suggest it, tell me who and tell me what. I'll do it. If you think they should trade back, y'all got to give me something, though. Let's see who's calling for the Jets. Let's just take a look. Cincy. What's Cincy coming up? You got the Dolphins on the clock, the Rams trying to come pick, Minnesota Vikings trying to jump up, the Cincinnati Bengals. Is Cincy jumping up here to 2? Are they giving up a 27 first? Are they giving up the 41st pick and something else to move up to 2? And if they do that, who to take? Like, to take who? I think a lot of teams are going to make the Jets pick right here. I think teams are going to make the Jets pick right here. 10 and 27 first for Cleveland to come up and take who? I didn't expect to have this type of debate right here, Terrell, but who is Cleveland taking if they come up? They just lost Wyatt Teller, their guard. You say D-line? And that's the thing. So, okay, we could make that move, but I think the defensive line class is so good that if I'm Cleveland, I don't even want to move one of the future first that I banked from last year. I want to hold that in my back pocket. There'll probably be some D linemen. They've got 2 picks in round 1. I think they got to really focus on O-line, Terrell, especially having lost damn near their whole O-line this offseason, or projected to lose more guys than just Wyatt Teller. So right here, I'm going to go Bain at 2, kind of chalk. Cardinals at 3, I really don't know. You know, it's every mock, it's either Francis Mauigoa right here. Probably not Jeremiyah Love with James Conner in the building. Could they go Caleb Downs? Could they go Arvell Reese? Could they go David Bailey? I think all these damn positions are kind of in play for Arizona. O-line feels like the safest type of pick for them right now, but you're talking about a trade down. Right here, Washington. Is this a spot where Washington's like, I don't want to lose out on Reese. Reese is there. I want to go get Reese. I want Caleb Downs at this spot. Arizona's a tough wild card here. If there's any Cardinals fans in the chat, I'm going to wait about 10 seconds and make the pick. This is the downside of having no solidified QB2. All these teams should want to trade down. Yeah, I agree, but Ty Simpson's not going right here. Nobody's taking Ty Simpson at this point. Kansas City, Saints trying to move up. Dallas is on the phone. Tampa Bay. We're going to make the pick for Arizona, and we're not going to take an offensive lineman. That's what I did in the last mock about 10 days ago. I feel like with Walter Nolan being out, can you go get after the quarterback? You're playing in an incredibly tough division. And O-tackle, we'll see what's available in round 2. So we're going to go David Bailey, edge rusher to Arizona at 3, which puts Tennessee on the clock at 4. Titans on the clock at 4. Running back, receiver, center, guard, edge rusher, corner. I have not mocked a receiver this high yet. I haven't done it yet. Every time we get here to Tennessee, I take Ruben Bain. I'll take David Bailey. Both of those guys are off of the board. This feels like a spot where it feels high for a receiver, but I can absolutely see them going wide out right here with Cam Ward. So that's what we're going to do in this mock. Tennessee is going to go Carnell Tate out of Ohio State. They're going to go wide receiver. Titans fans have been on my ass. Give me a receiver, Ray. You keep talking about Pickens in the free agency. You keep talking about Alec Pierce. Give me a damn receiver. Carnell Tate goes 4 to the Tennessee Titans. Let me see what y'all are saying in the chat. The downside. Okay, nothing else. Giants on the clock at 5. Oh, man. This is where I know Giants fans are going to be like, give me a receiver. Give me a wideout, Ray. I'm going receiver. I really want to take O-line for the Giants here. If the board fell this way, where Tate's off of the board, I don't really want to take Lemon at this point. It feels very high. They need O-line. Sean says they need O-line. That's what I want to do right here. And what I don't want to do is argue about which offensive lineman it is. We'll get more information next week after they test, get the official measurements. So whether it's Mawanoa, Fano, Proctor, Lomu, Freeling, Max, like there's going to be an offensive lineman or two. Can Dart feed multiple weapons? I don't think he can feed shit without a solidified up front. I think he needs an offensive line. You got Jermaine Illuminor is their only right tackle. He played a bunch of snaps last year. Was good when he played, but they've got to upgrade the right side of their offensive line. And when Andrew Thomas is out, the offense struggles mightily at left tackle. So right here for the Giants, we're going to take a lineman. We're going O-line for the Giants, and I'm going to take Spencer Fano out of Utah. He played right tackle primarily at Utah. A lot of people think he can kick over to left side, but he played right tackle at Utah. If Illuminor is not back, if they don't tag him, if he hits free agency, and even if he doesn't, he's, I think, 34, 35 years old, Spencer Fano goes to the Giants at 5. At 6, the Browns are on the clock. Receiver, all types of stuff. Reese is still on the board. We're going right back to the O-line. Well, Wyatt Teller, gone. They're missing multiple linemen. I think this is where Cleveland goes O-line. Francis Mawanoa out of Miami goes to the Browns at 9. Commanders are on the clock. There it is. Back-to-back OTs, Terrell. Absolutely. Absolutely. Commanders are on the clock, and I'm telling you right now, Dan Quinn, he's not consulting with y'all. He ain't consulting with me. He ain't consulting with the front office staff. He's running the card up to Roger Goodell himself for Arvell Reese. They need edge rusher. They need linebacker. They need defensive help. Get him the chess piece, Arvell Reese out of Ohio State. Not quite Micah Parsons. We ain't going that damn far. But we saw Dan Quinn get an athletic defender out of Penn State some years ago, turn him into something. And they are an old team. They need some youth. He is a great, great, great prospect as an off-ball outside linebacker or interior guy. So I like Arvell Reese there to Washington. Now the Saints are up. Wide receiver, guard, D-line for the New Orleans Saints. Positions of need. This has been an easy spot to just drop Jeremiyah Love, put a receiver in the building at that spot. Y'all know what it is. The draft, y'all know what the draft is. I hear you. Give Shuck weapons. I hear you. Give Shuck weapons. Casey's on the phone. Let's see if Casey's calling, Terrell. Let's see if Casey is calling. Panthers calling. Chargers calling. The Seahawks. Y'all ain't coming up from 32. Could they interest Kansas City? Or is Kansas City going to just say, hey, I believe, what would it cost? What would it cost? They get 8 and 73, and they've got to give up. New Orleans to give up that, and then Kansas City's got to give up what, 40? They're not doing it. They're not even interested in it. They're not giving up anything to move up. I think KC is just going to play the board. Let's see what they take. More likely to draft wide receiver than Love. Feels like the spot they can move up. Does KC really draft a running back round 1? KC on the phone. I'm looking at the chat. This feels like a get the best player on the board type pick. And every mock has either been Jeremiyah Love or Makai Lemon. They're going to pay Chris Olave a lot of money. They brought in Devon Vele, and I'm not saying he's good. They absolutely need to upgrade their second receiver. Who's the safety in New Orleans? Why not Caleb Downs in New Orleans? Just somebody tell me, why not Caleb Downs? Why have we not seen this pairing before? Why not Caleb Downs in New Orleans? Can somebody just tell me that? Why not Caleb Downs in New Orleans? Why not just get one of the best players in the class right here at 8? People didn't like them taking Kelvin Banks last year. It should have took whomever it was, Shador or whatever, inside the top 10. They went Kelvin Banks and it worked out. Downs would make any team better. Do you just take the best player available? Like, why is Caleb Downs falling? Who's the safety in New Orleans right now? If he's not an all-pro, I don't know why they wouldn't do this. Teams like this need to be BPA. I'm doing it. I haven't seen one mock take Caleb Downs to New Orleans. That's what we're doing. We're not doing chalk shit. Caleb Downs, and I don't care what Sycamore has right here as the team needs, because these are his grades. I love Trev, but you got Olave. Let's get another receiver later on. I'm taking Caleb Downs right here to New Orleans, which puts Kansas City on the clock. Running back, wide receiver, guard, tackle, and D-line. They've just restructured Mahomes, so there's a lot more money available to play with. And then Rashee Rice, civil suit. There's rumors about Trent McDuffie potentially going. Justin Reed on the depth chart. Yep, Justin Reed's a good player. Get Downs next to him. Not Love, don't see KC. I'm not taking Jordan Love right here, AJ. I'm not taking Jordan Love right here. I'm with you. I'm not taking Love right here. If we do go receiver, I do think Lemon or Tyson are in play with everything going on with Rice. Can we go wide out for Kansas City here? Baltimore calling. Who do the Ravens want? Ravens want to make a trade? KC want to move back? Does Kansas City who's Baltimore coming up for? Who would Baltimore be coming up for? Sonny Styles? Who the hell are the Ravens coming up for? Lemon here for KC. KC needs O-lineman. Wide receiver here feels like a wasted pick. This is why I wanted to do it with the community, to see what y'all thought. Let's look at the O-line board. If you need tackle, I would go Caleb Lomu over Caden Proctor. Monroe Freeling, probably a big riser after the draft. Here's the issue. If we pass on Jeremiyah Love here, where does he fall to? Because y'all are going to be like, he's sliding, he's slipping, right? Where does he fall to if we do it here? Wide receiver sake makes sense. Doubt they re-sign Rice next offseason. Okay, we got to make the pick for Kansas City. We've got to make the pick for Kansas City. And I'm going to piss people off, but I'm going to do what I did. I said on the old X machine yesterday, they take Jordan Tyson. They go Jordan Tyson, wide receiver out of Arizona State right here at 9. Tyson to Kansas City at 9. Cincinnati is on the clock at 10. Guard, center, D-line, safety, a bunch of positions of need for the Bengals. I'm thinking Sonny Styles, but Demetrius Knight last year was fine out of South Carolina. Man, I don't want to take D-line for Cincinnati, not right here. Okay, AJ said yes, Tyson to KC. We got 1 thumbs up, 1 thumbs down. Kittle's crew didn't like it. I get it. I absolutely, I get it. Right here for Cincinnati, I'm going to save Bengals fans pain from going D lineman again. They went the kid out of Notre Dame a few years ago, Shamar Stewart last year. There's no safety right here on the board that I would take, but I'm going to see if there's anybody. We got it. Minnesota. Minnesota is calling. All right, we're going to make the deal. Minnesota wants to get the 10th pick. So they got to give up 18. They're going to probably, what's Minnesota going to have to give up? A future first to move up? Cincinnati kicks back a third. Can we do that? Cincinnati's going to drop back. They're dropping back 8 spots. They're picking up a future first. They get Minnesota's 18th. They got to give up the 10th pick, obviously, and they're going to give up a 3rd rounder. Can we do this for Cincinnati? Because I got something that Minnesota sees what they want. And I like it. I like it. Can we do it? I'm asking the chat. Can we do this? Can we do this? I think I'm going to pull the trigger. Dewey saying yes. Go ahead. Do it. Weasley said no, Minnesota can't give up their future first. Do it. I don't think it needs to be. Okay. All right. Let's see if they'll do it for a second. Second, 18, and but they get a fourth back, that comp pick, they get a fourth. So the Bengals move back, they pick up a second and a fourth. 27 second, and they get a fourth this year, and they give up their 10th pick and a third-round pick. Feels like Cincy should get a little bit more back for a top 10 pick. Feels like they should give up a little more back than a top 10 pick. Let me see if they can give. Let me see. 8 spots is a lot. Yeah, they're not giving up. Let's see. See, they'll do it for anything for that second. It's that first rounder. If Minnesota moved up to 10, I think they got to give up more than that. Minnesota can't give up their future first. They're already pot committed to J.J. McCarthy, right? They're pot committed to J.J. 10, 7, 12. That's what they'll do. They'll move back 8 spots. They'll pick up a future second. Minnesota never trades up. And that's what the Weeze is saying. They never trade up. Well, that was with Kwesi, right? That was with Kwesi, and they let him go because he took paternity leave. Took paternity. Minnesota never trades up. But they're calling in this mock. They'll need the first next year. All right, they're going to do it. I think we're going to pull the trigger right here. Minnesota's going to give up a 4th rounder, a 2nd rounder next year for Cincinnati's 10th. They're going to swap spots. Minnesota's happy, right? The Bengals, they didn't have to make the pick there. I got something planned for Cincinnati. Minnesota is now picking 10th overall, and they try to help J.J. McCarthy out with Jeremiyah Love. So Jeremiyah Love goes top 10 to Minnesota at 10. The Dolphins are on the clock, and I do think this defense is what Miami needs. I can go a multitude of directions. I mean, shit, they kind of can use Makai Lemon as well. I think we're going to do it. I mean, Tyreek Hill is gone. They're starting this regime over. You got Jalen Waddle there. I don't know. I don't know what their plans are for him. I feel like Lemon would fit in Miami. They let go 2 receivers. Nick Westbrook-Akine gone. It's just Jalen Waddle in the room. Buffalo trades up for Lemon. Okay, let's see if Buffalo's calling. New England's calling. Denver's calling. Kansas City back there. Arizona at 34. Desperate for a receiver. Desperate for a wide receiver. Let's see if Buffalo can come get him. Let's see if Buffalo, if they want any part of this. 26, they're definitely giving up a future first. Miami give up 11. Buffalo doesn't want it. They're not interested. So Miami's going to sit right here, and we're just going to go cornerback as a position of need for the Dolphins, but I absolutely thought about Makai Lemon, and I'm going to take Mansoor Delane. Yeah, a little too expensive. Dallas on the clock at 12. We're going Sonny Styles. I don't want to belabor that. The Sonny Styles, great linebacker. Cowboys need linebacker help. I want to give a little analysis for that, but this is a common pick, which means it's absolutely not going to happen. I don't even know if Sonny Styles will be on the board at 12. It feels like a pipe dream a little bit. The Rams are on the clock at 13, and they are going to go O-line. I think they're going Caleb Lomu right here. They're not going Makai Lemon at 13. They're going O-line for the Rams. Protect old man Stafford. Caleb Lomu to the Rams. He's a traditional left tackle, played left tackle at Utah, and I like the fit in LA. So Lomu going to the Rams at 13. Baltimore's on the clock at 14. Baltimore's on the clock at 14. We're going interior D-line for the Ravens. Caleb Banks. I've got a draft infatuation with him. I know Matabuke. The neck looks like it's going to check out, but you still need big dudes in the middle. 6'6", 300+ pounds, healthy, explosive at the Senior Bowl. Caleb Banks goes to Baltimore at 14. 15. Tampa Bay's on the clock. Tight end, guard, edge rusher, all that stuff. They need a lot of shit in Tampa Bay. Todd Bowles, defensive guy. What do? We look at the linebacking group right now. It's a very good class at linebacker. You got C.J. Allen right there at linebacker. We saw Styles come off the board. They need a backer. And when I'm looking at the edge versus D-line versus linebacking core, I mean, I could make the case that I'll just take C.J. Allen right here. I think Styles could be gone, but a great pick for Dallas. I agree with you. I don't know if he'll be available either. Tampa Bay, let's give him some corner help. Ben Morrison is a good player, and then Outside of that, I think they've got one other guy. So I think Jermod McCoy right here to Tampa Bay. I actually kind of like the fit. McCoy, a lot of people CB1 coming off the ACL. He goes to Tampa Bay at 15. Now the Jets are an intriguing spot at 16. The Jets at 16. It's the extra pick from Indy. Quarterback, I am not going Ty Simpson right here. Linebacker, probably not going to do that. D-line, Peter Woods would be interesting. I think this is the spot for Lemon, though. I don't know who's playing quarterback. Not a clue who's playing quarterback for the Jets. And it doesn't feel like Aaron Glenn, for another bad season, he might be up out of there quicker, sooner rather than later. We always draft cornerbacks, Bucs. Lane Johnson. Oh, Lane Johnson coming back for the Eagles. Big news. Thank you, because O-line was on the list for your Eagles, no doubt, Terrell. Jets right here. I think this is an appropriate spot for Makai Lemon. He could go obviously higher than that. This could easily be Jordan Tyson, whoever the team's preference is. Jets got to get playmakers. You got Adonai Mitchell in the building. He can stretch the field. You got Garrett Wilson as your primary. Lemon to New York. I don't know how the fantasy community will feel about that, especially without knowing the QB position, but I think this is where Lemon would come off of the board. Lions are on the clock, and this is one where Lions fans, they have me all over the place. Ray, we need cornerback help. We need O-line help. We've got to replace our tackles. Let's go O-line. Let's go interior, exterior. And I think I made a mistake. I think I made a mistake because Vega Ione, I don't know how he gets past Baltimore, especially with them losing Tyler Linderbaum. He is an incredible guard prospect. But if we've got to go tackle, Arizona State, we got Clemson tackle, Miller right here, Proctor, Monroe. I think Freeling's going to be a riser after the combine. The kid is 6'7", 320 pounds. He can move. SEC tackle. Detroit's got to block better for the running game. They got to block to protect Jared Goff. Defensive back help. We go corner in round 2 for the Lions. We go corner in round 2. So right here, let's go with, I'm going to take a stab at Monroe Freeling right here for Detroit at 17. So the Lions go tackle since he's back on the clock. And I know, because our good friend Scott Connors, like, I would love for Caleb Downs to be there for us. I would love for Caleb Downs. Well, he wasn't there since he didn't want to make the pick. They didn't want to go D lineman that would still be here right now. So we go back to the safety pool, and I love him. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren goes to Cincinnati at 18. EMW. A lot of people, they want to make the Emmanuel comps. We won't go that far just yet because he's a certified stud as a rookie. But this is a first-round safety. No doubt about it. Cincinnati wanted Downs. They couldn't get him. They trade back, and they still get probably safety 2 on everyone's board right now. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, headhunter, versatile in the back half. Carolina's on the clock at 19. Receiver, D-line, and linebacker positions of need for the Panthers. Weapons for Bryce, protection for Bryce, or fix the defense. Protect Bryce, weapons for Bryce, or pick defense. Vikings would also take EMW there. I could see that. I had Vikings taking Thieneman in the last mock. Thieneman out of Oregon, Dylan Thieneman. Carolina right here. I think this would be an edge rusher spot for Carolina. They can also go CJ Allen at linebacker. We'll save linebacker for later. Let's get him somebody explosive off of the edge. I think TJ Parker will be there, especially after the combine next week. Parker or Cashius Howell? Parker or Cashius Howell? I'm gonna give the Panthers the kid they probably got to see quite a bit, playing right underneath them in South Carolina at Clemson. I think I want to go TJ Parker here for Carolina. I see somebody typing in the chat. They also said Parker. We're on the same page, Sean. TJ Parker to Carolina at 19. Dallas is on the clock, and they went Sonny Styles with the first pick. Now they're on the clock at 20. Who's calling? Seattle's on the phone. Minnesota. I mean, I know somebody said Minnesota does nothing, but could this be a spot where Minnesota, we want to come back in? Probably not. Probably not. Seattle move up. I don't know what they're moving up for, but I would like for Dallas to move back if they were here. If the board fell like this, I would really like Dallas to move back. but there are no trade partners that I could realistically kind of peg them here. So I'm just going to make the pick. And what would Dallas do? Texas A&M edge rusher Cashius would probably be the play. It probably would be the play. So they went defense. I like it. Dallas went Cashius and Sonny Styles, addressing two areas of need in round one. Pittsburgh's on the clock at 21. This is saying quarterback, receiver, tackle, and DB positions of need for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Terrell said needed Howell to fall to 23. He did not, so make other plans, Terrell. Go ahead and start thinking about what your team needs to do. If your team is coming up, let me know. Bills fans, Niners fans, let me know in the chat, and then we'll address those needs and those picks as we get to them. Steelers, they got to get a playmaker, man. We can go O-line. It makes sense. Go defense. It makes sense. But just watching Pittsburgh last year, they got to get it. They have to get some other weapons, man. They have to get some other weapons. Terrell's saying Boston seems like an easy pick, an easy fit. He does, but to me, he feels redundant for what they already have in DK Metcalf. I think they need someone to complement DK. DK's getting paid top 5 all-time wide receiver money. Can we get somebody to complement DK Metcalf just a little bit instead of lining up the two twin towers on the outside? Casey Concepcion's second highest collegiate usage score in my model. If he gets this type of capital, it's pretty good for his hit rate of being a 1,000-yard receiver by year 3 in the NFL. Line up another second-round receiver for Pittsburgh. I'm shocked that we haven't seen more KC to Pitt, and that's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to go Casey Concepcion to Pittsburgh right here at 2022. At pick 22, it's probably the easiest pick that I'm going to make, and I honestly don't think he'll be here when it's all said and done. But Vega Ione out of Penn State, just a road grader. You've never seen him. He's 6'4", 330 pounds, and he just wants to play guard. Think about that. I just want to go maul people in the run game and keep my quarterback upright. Philly's on the clock at 23. And Terrell said, man, I really wish that Cashius would have fallen. You got Jalen Phillips. All right, let's go to the other edge rushers. You got Falk, Mesidor. Where we at? Avion Terrell. Plan B, Avion Terrell. Well, Rodgers like that. He hates rookies. It might be. Who's the backup quarterback? And Mason? Rudolph? Will that deter him from coming back? Who knows? He probably wants anybody there outside of Calvin Austin. That's who he doesn't like, is that Calvin Austin. Philly's on the clock. Where are we going? Terrell, this is your squad. He's saying Avion Terrell, cornerback. You got Quinion. You got Cooper DeJean. Yeah, you need somebody else. You can't keep throwing a Dory Jackson out there. You don't want to keep throwing a Dory out there. Christian Miller, D-line, linebacker, probably not. I'm looking at Akeem Mesidor too, though. Any of these edge rushers? Here's the thing. Yes. Terrell saying, are any of these edge rushers big sack guys? I'm not going to say that he's going to be this 10-year stud, but if you're looking for somebody just right away to come in and get, he had 13 playing next to Ruben Bain, 92 PFF grade. He is absolutely older, but Mesidor is he is come in and you're getting immediate production from day one. He's probably not going to be there for 10 years, but you're probably getting 4 or 5 quality years out of Mesidor. So if edge rusher is the position of need, I would say that would be an instant jolt of juice to this Philadelphia defense. So let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's go Akeem Mesidor to Philly at 23. We got Cleveland back on the clock. They went tackle. They went Francis Malinois at pick 6. Now they're sitting at 24. I've seen mocks where they double tap tackle, but right here is where I think they do address the wide receiver position, and Denzel Boston is on the board. Let's just take a look at the other receivers to make sure that we're not overlooking anything. There's Omar Cooper there. You got Chris Brazzell in the building. They Denzel Boston to Cleveland at 24. They get a big play guy to complement Jerry Jeudy. At 25, the Bears are on the clock, and they just released Tremaine Edmonds, or at least I saw Tremaine Edmonds probably gone. D-line has been a position that I've addressed with Chicago quite a bit, but I'm kind of thinking if Edmonds is gone, it's saying linebacker and safety are positions of need. I'm going C.J. Allen linebacker out of Georgia to Chicago at 25, which puts Buffalo on the clock at 26. Receiver, edge rusher, linebacker, and DB. They pick at 60, so there is a second-round pick for Buffalo. Let's look at the receivers. I don't know, Bills fans. I don't want to do it. But if there were one, based on the mock draft stuff, it feels like Chris Brazzell here in Buffalo. And I'm sure people are not going to like that. If Woods is there for Chicago, I think they got to sprint the card up. Yeah, I've done Caden McDonald. I've done Peter Woods as well. I've done both of those for Chicago. I think we'll be okay with D-line in round 2. Just bear with me in round 2. Buffalo Bills fans, you guys get Chris Brazzell. We're going Chris Brazzell, the second to Buffalo at 26. There you go. Chris Brazzell, Josh Allen's new wide receiver 1. Let's see how people like that. Let's see. I see Sean already tweeting in the texting in the Discord chat, getting the edge rusher. We want Woods. Well, you got Chris Brazzell. You got Josh Allen, a weapon. San Francisco at 27. Could this be a spot? Okay, two things I'm thinking for San Francisco. Could they take BPA, which in my opinion would be Peter Woods? He's not an edge. He's interior. They went Alfred Collins last year. They got Mykel Williams last year. The receiver position, also a position of need. The tackle position, also a position of need in my opinion. You've got to find somebody that can complement Trent Williams now and in the long term. Caden Proctor, Blake Miller, the Arizona State. That's where there's still some quality tackle prospects on the board that you could take a stab on for sure if O-line is a position of need in San Francisco. They're saying guard, though. They're saying guard. Sadiq, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think you bring back Tonjes. I don't know about Sadiq right here for San Francisco. Again, fantasy football-wise, it seems fun. Kittle why not bring back Tonjes? I don't know if and a good blocker for the run game. Kittle replacement, good blocker for the run game. Edge rusher, we want Woods. I've done it. I'm just not feeling Sadiq to say. I think Sadiq is probably a later first, early second round pick. I think that'd be an appropriate spot right here for San Francisco. I see the San Francisco fan in the chat. I'm gonna appease Sean in this one, and I'm fine with it. Peter Woods, they just take the best. Just load up on D-line. Tackle is good. Okay, D-line. Peter Woods to San Francisco at 27. 28, Houston is on the clock, and they are absolutely going O-line. Houston is going offensive line. D'Amico Ryans is tapping back into his Alabama pipeline, and he's going to put Caden Proctor on the right side. He got Ariante Ursary out of Minnesota last year. They're going Caden Proctor on the other side to make sure C.J. Stroud is good, whether they play him at guard. Some people say kick him in at tackle. Rams are on the clock at 29. They went Caleb Lomu. Love that pick. Probably my favorite pick in round 1. Rams went Caleb Lomu at 13. Now they're on the clock at 29. Cornerback for the Rams, position of need. And my God, Avion Terrell just staring them right in the face. Got Terrell, Cisse, Abney. Love Keontae Scott. He's going to be in round 2. Sure, trust the guy with Kittle in his name. Terrible pick, Kittle's crew. All right, let's go Avion Terrell here for Los Angeles at 29. The defensive second. This is love what the Rams did. They went Lomu and Terrell in round 1. Excellent job, LA. Excellent. Excelente. Excellent job by the Rams. Denver at 30. Denver at 30. Running back, tight end, center, and linebacker. Running back, tight end, center, and linebacker. Thinking about Denver. Receiving core, running back room. Chance to take it up with customers. Broncos continue to beef up defense. Okay, autosave. No Sadiq. You want defense for Denver. Where do we go? Because, I mean, Benito, Zach Allen, the D-line is really good. Your cornerback room, I mean, you got PS2. Riley Moss, the other guy, 29, had the interception in the game. Where are they going? Would it be linebacker? Would it be LB? And would that be too early? Where's Denver's next pick? They picked 62, so they got their second round pick. You got Galladay, Anthony Hill, Kyle Louise, Jacob Rodriguez. Maybe a little too early. Maybe. Would love linebacker or interior D-line. Okay. All right. Well, if you want interior D-line, you're in luck. I mean, I don't know how you would pass on Caden McDonald then. Caden McDonald's the pick. If you're saying interior D-line, there you go. Caden McDonald out of Ohio State goes to Denver at 30. Patriots are on the clock at 31. We're going to protect Drake May, or we're going to address other positions? I'll tell you, I've mocked Keldrick Falk to New England multiple times on the edge. It feels like a Vrabel type guy. He's not the bendiest athlete off the edge. Not the bendiest athlete. Zion Young, also an option. I wouldn't mind Zion Young here. Gabe Jacobs is really good. Maybe a little too early right here for Jacobs. But you got Falk, 16th overall on the board. Just feels like he would go to New England. It just feels like a Pats pick. And the Pats do have their second rounder. So just making sure we can address Sadiq. Get May his Gronk. I don't know, man. Sure, but he's not Gronk. And is Kenyon Sadiq that much better than Hunter Henry? Is he? Like, realistically, I don't know. I don't think so. They need more receivers. What receiver would New England reach for? Let's just look at what's available. Omar Cooper? Omar Cooper to New England? Omar Cooper. They don't pick again till, and think, they have a ton of receivers. Well, Diggs is gone. They're going to cut Diggs. They're absolutely going to cut Diggs. Kyle Williams is no, because he didn't play. You got Mac Hollins, Kayshon Boutte. I don't think they've got enough receivers at all. I think Omar Cooper to New England. Let's do it. Let's get Drake May some help outside. Omar Cooper, the 6th receiver inside of round 1, goes to New England. And the world champion Seahawks, they get to load up on BPA. So let's look at defense for Seattle, man, because they're losing some corners. This is a good team. Let's go corner. Let's go safety, D-line, and edge. You got Falk, Lee Hunter, Christian Miller on the interior. You can go Keith Abney, Brandon Cisse, Thieneman at safety, Zion Young. Colton Hood is available. My goodness. Cooper in round 1 is a reach. It's the end of round 1. Who gives a shit? At this point, let's get your guy. There's 11 blue chip players in this class, and after that, everybody is what it is. Where are we going with the world champion Seahawks? I just feel like they would take Keldrick Falk or a cornerback. Like, oh, you want to let Keldrick Falk fall to us? We got Tank Lawrence on one edge. We got Big Cat Williams. Let's get a young guy that can learn from, they're not done, but some of the older veterans, and we'll just keep this D-line rolling. We just add to strength on strength for Seattle. I see some of y'all typing in the chat. Where are the Hawks going? Any Hawks fans in here? I want to make the Keldrick Falk pick unless I see a definitive hell no, we're not taking Keldrick Falk right here. I want to go Falk. Just give them a talented defensive player and just let them continue to repopulate. Their D-line rotation was crazy in the Super Bowl as is. They probably bring back a corner. Reek Woolen may be gone. I'll tell you the off the wall, and it's watch out for the Eagles to trade up in the early second for. I'm just going to tell you right now, Keontae Scott out of Miami, I think once we come out of next week, mark my word, got him right here in the mid towards the back of the second round out of Miami. I think he's going to fly up the board. And you put this type of player on this defense, I'm going Keontae Scott. I'm going Keontae Scott for Seattle right here at 32. I am putting a stamp on it. After the combine, this guy's going to rise up because he is a Witherspoon-light player. Love the fit in Seattle with that crazy defense with McDonald as the coach. So there is round 1. We are now into round 2 where it is get your guy season. Now the Jets are on the clock here at 33, and this is where I do think Ty Simpson would come off of the board. So the Jets, they go Ty Simpson at 33. The Cardinals in round 1 went edge rusher David Bailey. We thought about offensive line in round 1 for Arizona. They're still, they've got the Arizona State kid right there in their backyard. I think this would be a home run pick for them. They address the trenches on both sides of the ball with their first 2 picks, and they get tackle out of Arizona State, Max Chancellor, right here at 34. 35, the Titans, they got Cam Ward help with Carnell Tate in round 1, wide receiver. And now it's time to pair up Jeffrey Simmons on the defensive side of the ball. You've got Christian Miller, Lee Hunter. They can go cornerback. Edge rusher still available. I think Keldrick Falk would come off the board right here. So Keldrick Falk to the Titans at 35. The Raiders are back on the clock at 36. Obviously, they went Fernando Mendoza in round 1. I think you got to protect Fernando Mendoza right here. And I think that's a team that could have traded up. You've got Blake Miller, the tackle out of Clemson, who a lot of people have this sort of their second tackle or second tier of tackle. And then if you go interior O-line, because they need a little bit of everything, Emmanuel Pregnon or Chase Basantis out of Texas A&M could also be in play for Las Vegas. So let's go ahead and give them, let's go O-line. Connor Lew as well at center is a good player. Let's give them Blake Miller, tackle out of Clemson to Las Vegas at 36. Giants are on the clock at 37, and in round 1, they went tackle. We're talking about helping out Jackson Dart, getting some young talent in there. Let's look at the receiver pool, and here you go. And let's assume, for the sake of the exercise, Wan'Dale Robinson is gone. He is out. Wan'Dale is gone. Got Zachariah Branch there at 76. That could be, after the combine, he's going to be another one of those guys. Could they use a Zach Branch in New York? And I think the answer is yes. I would take him over Jeremy Bernard. Chris Bell would have been a first rounder, but he's coming off of an ACL tear, so I don't want to do that to Giants fans. So I think right here, they address tackle with Fano. Let's just go BPA. Who's the best player available? Sadiq is on the board. Lee Hunter, Christian Miller, cornerback is also a position of need for the Giants as well, especially with Cordell Flott. He is, a free agent? Let's go Colton Hood. We're going Colton Hood for the Giants at 37. The Texans are on the clock at 38. They went Caden Proctor, and they've got 2 picks in the second round, Houston does. So they got 2 picks in the second round. So right here, I think D'Amico Ryans is salivating to get Lee Hunter. Texas kid, Texas team. Seen him, talked about him. Lee Hunter, big and athletic. Lee Hunter will go into Houston. Lee Hunter goes to Houston at 38. Cleveland on the clock at 39. They went Francis Malinois, Denzel Boston, and here they are with their second first-round pick. Quarterback, receiver, guard, tackle positions of need for the Cleveland Browns. We've already gotten receiver addressed. Let's go back to the O-line. Let's go interior and tackle. This would be, you got Francis Malinois at 6, and then you're able to land Chase Basantis or Emmanuel Pregnon right here. We'll just go Emmanuel out of Oregon, but either way, smash. Love it. KC's back up at 40. Chiefs are up at 40. Jordan Tyson went 9th overall to Kansas City in round 1. Chiefs fans, talk to me. What do we do? Sadiq is sitting right there. I think this is where, I know it doesn't say a position of need for Kansas City, but who cares what this says, right? This is one person's opinion. They went receiver. They're not going receiver and tight end, right? There's no way they're going receiver and tight end back to back, are they? And if not, where would Sadiq go? I guess he can go anywhere. Miami, Cincinnati. AJ's saying go line then. They have holes everywhere. And I'm hearing more smoke. Have y'all heard Kelsey's coming back? I'm hearing more and more rumor that Kelsey's coming back again for another year. I'm going to let this one sit for Chiefs or BPA type team. Christian Miller right there on the interior. Kelsey's not going out like that. Okay, KC needs D-line. All right, That just makes me feel better about Christian Miller being right here. And some people think he's a first. They pass. Now we're here at 41. The Bengals. They got their safety. They got another pick next year. I'm doing it. Kenyon Sadiq to Cincinnati in round 2. Kenyon Sadiq, seam, field stretcher. The Bengals, they don't give a damn about defense, right? We got a safety. We got a safety early. They go Kenyon Sadiq at 41. Saints are on the clock at 42. They went Caleb Downs, BPA at 8. We're looking at guard, D-line, receiver, potentially for the Chiefs. You want to get Shuck some help. You want to get Tyler Shuck some help. Chris Olave plus who? Chris Olave, it's probably Zach Branch. He's coming off the board at some point. Kellen Moore. They moved off of Shaheed. I'm going Zach Branch to New Orleans at 42. Zach Branch, receiver out of Georgia, goes New Orleans at 42. Dolphins are on the clock at 43. What did we do with Miami? They went Mansoor Delane at 11. Guard, corner, quarterback. You got Quinn Ewers there. There's no other quarterback that we're probably taking at this point. I think receiver, again, a position of need for the Miami Dolphins, but you got a defensive head coach in the building. O-line. Nuss. AJ saying Nussmeyer. Not with Basantis on the board. This is a player who's been mocked in round 1 a lot. They need O-line. Not taking Nussmeyer yet. We're going Chase Basantis. We're going Chase Basantis, guard out of A&M, 43 to Miami. The Jets are back up. Another pick for the Jets. Look at the Jets draft. Ruben Bain, Makai Lemon, Ty Simpson. Edge rusher, receiver, quarterback. We're saying that linebacker, corner, D-line, positions of need. Who'd they take? Receiver, edge rusher, and Jets are in a nice spot right here. The Jets are in a nice spot right here. I think they're in a position to go BPA. They lost Sauce Gardner, so let's go look at the cornerback pool. Brandon Cisse right there, Keith Abney, Chris Johnson, very good corner class. We're going Brandon Cisse out of South Carolina at 44. The Jets just loading up. The Ravens went Caleb Banks at 14 in round 1. Basantis would have been nice. That would have been a nice Baltimore pick. Connor Lew played center, so I don't want to be playing games where I'm taking a center and saying they're going to turn him into a guard, but I mean, they probably could. Receiver for Baltimore and Lamar. What receiver would they go? What receiver? I don't feel great about any of these guys in round 2, honestly. I don't feel great about any of them in round 2. So we went Caleb Banks in round 1. We got to address the offensive line. So I'm going to take the best available interior offensive lineman. Slaughter's there. Kel Bell is an outside guy. We'll take Connor Lew right here. Very good center. Let's see how big he is. 6'3", 303 pounds. Are you turning him into a guard? Feels a little light in the ass to be a guard right here. Oh, Baltimore. Let's give him some O-line help, right? Cincy, Cincy, Sadiq went to Cincy. Let's give Baltimore O-line help. I don't love the receivers right here. Do not love the receivers for Baltimore. So we'll go O-line help for Baltimore right here. I don't feel great about that pick. I really wish Basantis would have fallen. But Tampa Bay is up now. They took Jermod McCoy in round 1, and this is where I do think they go back to the linebacker pool. Let's go back to LBs. And Jake Galladay out of Cincinnati comes off of the board. Not Anthony Hill. Jake Galladay out of Cincinnati. Big dude. Very, very Very good linebacker. 6'4", 240. That's how I like my linebackers to look. 6'4", 240. Like that. Colts finally here after they trade their first round pick. And my goodness, what do the Colts need? It says QB, D-line, linebacker, and safety for Indianapolis. Chris Ballard punching air, getting sniped right there. You think that was the snipe? That linebacker would have been the play for Indianapolis? Well, we still got linebackers available. We've got Anthony Hill and Josiah Trotter available. Rodriguez probably a little bit later. So talk to me, Colts fans. If edge, linebacker, or edge. Well, let's go look at the edge. Okay. If you want edge, I would take Zion Young. I'd take Zion Young out of Missouri right here. 6'5", 262. He's been mocked in round 1. If you need edge, I'd go Zion Young. If you need linebacker, I think Anthony Hill is still in play. Like Pons is a Kenny Moore replacement too. I like Pons too, but I'm not taking the 5'8", 180-pound corner right here. So we'll go Zion Young, edge rusher out of Missouri. Atlanta's on the clock at 48. It's the first pick from Atlanta, right? Yeah, they traded their pick last year. Falcons, they may need a tight end after Kyle Pitts is gone. Cornerback positions of need. Keith Abney's the pick. So Keith Abney goes to Atlanta. Minnesota, this is a great draft for Minnesota. It worked out beautifully. They traded up for Jeremiyah Love in round 1. They're here at 49. Everyone said McNeil-Warren would have been a pick for him. I've mocked Dylan Thineman to him in round 1 before. I think this is an easy pick. Minnesota runs the card up. They take Dylan Thineman out of Oregon, so they leave their first 2 rounds of the mock of their draft with Jeremiyah Love and a safety, Dylan Thineman. Love it for Minnesota. Detroit's on the clock at 50. They went tackle in round 1. We're going to address the secondary here in round 2. And we're going Chris Johnson out of San Diego. Chris Johnson out of San Diego State. Very good corner. He goes to Detroit at 2. Carolina up at 51. What did the Panthers do? They went TJ Parker in round 1. Anthony Hill. It was a pick. They need linebacker help. We're addressing defensive needs. Thought about receiver for Carolina, but they go Anthony Hill. At one point, he was mocked as a top 10 pick coming in, and now we're here, and he's fallen to the mid-second. Green Bay on the clock, and they didn't have a first-rounder. They gave it up to trade to get Micah Parsons. Packers fans keep telling me cornerback, but it can't be Pons because he's not big enough. They say there's an archetype, a hierarchy for the cornerback spot. A lot of people talking about Davison Igbinosun as one of those guys that's going to be a second rounder. You got Malik Muhammad right here. A lot of some holding calls from Davison, but a lot at 6'2", almost 200 pounds. I think he fits the build for the Green Bay archetype cornerback. Yeah, got to hit those Green Bay cornerback thresholds. I got you. So there you go. Davison Igbinosun out of Ohio State. Just make sure he's not grabbing and holding every play. 53, you got Pittsburgh on the clock. They went Concepcion in round 1. Defensive back, tackle. Let's go O-line. You got to protect whoever's playing quarterback right there. There's Ginnings Dunker. We're going tackle for Pittsburgh. And I know they got Fatanu and Broderick Jones, but Brod Jones ain't been that damn good either. So Iowa tackle, what can go wrong there? Philly at 54. What we do with Philly in round 1? They went Akeem Mesidor. Love it. Philly goes Mesidor in round 1. I know Terrell was talking about cornerback help. Does Pons fit or is he too small? Is Terrell in here anymore? Nope, Terrell's not in here. So no Philly fans. Pons might just be a little too small to take right here for Philly. Lane Johnson is back. If they're going to lose Dallas Goedert, I think maybe this is a spot where they try to take a tight end. Eli Stowers right here at 54. There you go. Philly gets another tight end. Eli Stowers out of Vanderbilt goes to Philly at 54. At 55, the Chargers took Vega Ione out of Penn State, guard. They need D-line help. Gabe Jacobs is available. Or Mason Thompson, a little bit smaller. Dominique Orange. Now, I think they've got Owe, and they could franchise tag Owe or bring him back or just sign him to a long-term deal. 6'3", I think Jacobs is fine right here. I saw tight ends going to the Chargers right here. Center, if they need a center. Let's just see what the center pool looks like right now. Interior O-line. Connor Lew. If they need a center, the top one is on the board. So let's just address O-line for Justin Herbert. They went a guard and a center in back-to-back rounds. Jags are on the clock. I don't think we made a pick for the Jags. No, they didn't. They traded it. Gladstone traded up for that Travis Hunter. So now we've got center, guard, D-line, and safety positions of need for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I think if you want a safety, A.J. Holsey is right there. I think he's going to be a day 2 pick. A.J. Holsey out of LSU goes to Jacksonville at 56. Chicago on the clock at 57. And this is where people were like, hey, Peter Wood, sign me up. Give me that D tackle. So we'll go interior D-line for Chicago. You got Darrell Jackson. You got Dominique Orange, Deontay Corleone. That could be a pick right there out of Cincinnati. That could be a pick, 6'1", 335. Wow. Just a mountain of an interior defensive lineman. Orange is even bigger, I believe. Yeah, 6'4", 325 for Dominique Orange. Damn it, that was my pick. Who was your pick? A.J. Holsey? Yeah, he's gone. We're going Orange out of Iowa State. Everyone said they needed an interior D-line. We addressed linebacker, and now you get him a big fat D-lineman to protect him. San Francisco at 58 as we're going down the board. Niners, what'd they do round 1? Peter Woods in San Francisco. Niners fans said they hated that pick. Can't stand it. Where do they go right here? Safety, edge, receiver. Where my Niners fans at? If they went receiver, do they take Chris? Wide receiver feels gross here. Do they take Chris Bell and just pray that the knee is healthy? Diaz said wide receiver, but it's not optimal. Elijah, who do you want? Y'all are the Niners. I'm going to let y'all make the pick. Who do you want? Healthy players. Okay, so Elijah Surratt or Jeremy Bernard? Or Malachi Fields? Which one do you want? Which one do y'all want? I'm going to let the Niners fans in the chat make the pick. Yeah, don't me. Pick one. I know. Fields if we're doing wide receiver. Oof. Jeremy Bernard. Which means I'm going to split the baby. And I'm going to give you Elijah Surratt. I'm giving you Elijah Surratt. There you go. Make it work. Kyle Shanahan. I don't know about this Niners draft. Peter Woods, Elijah Surratt. Oof. Yeah. Probably should have taken. What receivers should they have taken? Where were they at? I mean, they were off the board by the time they got there. Shit. They were off the board. I don't know. Houston, Caden Proctor, Lee Hunter. They went big road graders early on. Listen, we have not done this in many mocks. I don't know what they're doing at the running back spot, but they got to upgrade it. I think this is a spot where Jadarian Price could come off the board. The Houston Texans need a running back. We addressed O-tackle. We addressed the interior, the defensive line. Secondary is good. Linebackers is deep. I think this is a Jadarian Price spot. I think he's the RB2. It's not no damn Emmett Johnson, Jonah Coleman, sure. I think he's going to get the bump. So we're going Jadarian Price, running back out of Notre Dame to Houston at 59. I think people would like that. I think Houston fans would like that. Fantasy football fans would like that as well. Buffalo at 60. Somebody told me they needed linebacker, and we ignored that and didn't do it. Cornerback, let's just go defense right here. Cornerback, got Pons for Buffalo. Linebacker, you still have Trotter. Luis, more of a coverage guy. Jacob Rodriguez, maybe a little too early. First round rookie pick if Price goes to Houston there. Hell, he's a first round pick right now. You know, I think he's a higher first if he goes to Houston. He'd be a much higher first. It'd be interesting to see him. Yeah, Dewey, I was going to say him versus some of those receivers. That would be sort of the inflection point. What does Buffalo need here? Buffalo Bills fans, linebacker? If it is, whether it's Trotter or somebody else that you think, if linebacker's the position, I can see Buffalo doing that. We'll go Trotter here. If you're saying, oh, I want Rodriguez over Trotter, then that's fine. I get that as well. At 61, the Rams, who I've loved this draft so far, they took Caleb Lomu at 13, Avion Terrell at 29. I think this is where they addressed their backup quarterback spot, and I think Garrett Nussmeier to the Rams at 61 makes a little more sense than Ty Simpson at 13 or 29. Denver's on the clock at 62. We went Caden McDonald for Denver early. So we went interior D-line. We just went BPA. Tight end, running back, center, and linebacker positions of need for the Denver Broncos. And if we're going linebacker, coverage linebacker, or do you just want a tackling guy? Rodriguez? Somebody said Rodriguez. Okay. Jacob Rodriguez is the pick. 63. What do we do for Drake May? We got him Omar Cooper. We got Drake May, Omar Cooper in round 1. Let's go O-line. Let's protect May. Jake Slaughter at center. You want to make a play for Markel Bell. He's a big dude. We'll see how he grades out. He's a big guy. 6'9", 345. 6'9", 345. Wow. Jake Slaughter right here, center. They had the right tackle. The left guard was a rookie, as was Will Campbell, I believe. I don't know what the right side looks like for those Patriots. Edge rusher, Gabe Jacobs, Romello Height. We're going edge. Gabe Jacobs, he's a good player. Right here at 63, that's a steal for Vrabel. And then 64, the world champion Seahawks. Keontae Scott, love it. Love the pick at 32 of Keontae Scott. Where are we going to round out Seattle with? Man, what they just went Ponds too. They're just getting a whole bunch of defensive guys. Let's look at receiver because Cooper Kupp's getting old. Rashid Shaheed, we don't know if they're going to bring him back or not. So right here for the Seattle Seahawks, they've got JSN. They've got some time to wait. I kind of want to give him Chris Bell right here. The medicals check out. Malachi Fields is also available. Not my cup of tea. We'll give Seattle the non-injured receiver right now. Chris Bell will be a third rounder. We're going to give Seattle Malachi Fields and round out this damn 2-round mock that I did with you people in here. Appreciate y'all being in the building. Let's review this first round of the mock. Mendoza, Bain, Bailey, Tate, and Fano. Your top 5 picks. Malinois goes to Cleveland. Commanders get Reese. Downs goes to New Orleans. I've not seen that mocked at all. We've got Jordan Tyson at 9. Jeremiyah Love at 10. Minnesota Vikings were like, we got to get him. So they moved up, got Love. Mansoor Delane to Miami. Sonny Styles goes to Dallas, common pick. Rams, I think I love their draft more than anybody's. They took Caleb Lomu at 13. They took Avion Terrell at 29. And then they got a backup quarterback in Nussmeier in the second round. Caleb Banks goes to Baltimore. Jermod McCoy to Tampa Bay. Makai Lemon to the Jets. We've got Monroe Freeling going to the Detroit Lions. Cincy in the trade back, they get EMW. Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, safety out of Toledo. Carolina goes edge with TJ Parker. Dallas goes Cashius Howell. A&M guys go back-to-back with Concepcion going to Pittsburgh. Vega Ione goes to the Chargers. And if I had to redo that, he would have went 14th to Baltimore. Akeem Mesidor to Philly. Love the pick. Boston to Cleveland. CJ Allen, linebacker, goes to Chicago. Chris Brazel goes to Buffalo. Peter Woods to San Francisco. Caden Proctor goes to Houston. Avion Terrell, we talked about him. Love what the Rams did. Caden McDonald. Omar Cooper goes in round 1. And Keontae Scott out of Miami hits that Seattle Seahawks landing spot right there. There it is. And then the full results, we've got round 2. I'll pull it up on the screen so you can see Simpson came off the board early. Some of my favorite picks. Simpson there. Kenyon Sadiq went to Cincinnati in round 2. Zachariah Branch, 42 overall. We had Zion Young going to Indy. I like that pick. Dylan Thieneman to Minnesota at 49 was a good pick. Davidson Igmanosun, cornerback, 6'2", 200 pounds, out of Ohio State, goes to Green Bay. We know that threshold. Eli Stowers, Terrell. I had Eli Stowers going to your Eagles at 54. AJ Holsey, love the pick of the Jaguars, that safety in round 2 as well. Nussmeier goes to LA. Jacob Rodriguez, Jadarian Price, the second running back off of the board, goes to Houston. Elijah Surratt goes to San Francisco. And then Seattle rounded out that thing with Malachi Fields at 64 to complement Jackson, Smith, and Jigba. There we go. Had quite a few people in here for this one. Appreciate y'all. I said this was a great way to distract me from work. Much love, Ray. Thanks again. 7 first-round receivers. Brugler, all the big name people are saying they got 17 of them inside the top 75. So we still got 10 more receivers to draft between round 3 and round 4. So here we go. And I think that's a product of the class when you don't have, I mean, we drafted 3 quarterbacks and the last one felt like a stretch a little bit. Like, are you really taking Nuss in round 2? I don't know. We only had 2 running backs. Think about what we did not have. We had 3 quarterbacks and 2 running backs. Out of 64 picks, 5 of those were running backs and quarterbacks. You know, there wasn't a ton of, there wasn't a ton of those positions. We had 2 tight ends off of the board in 64 picks. 2 tight ends off of the board. We had a bunch of damn linebackers coming off the board early. So it's a byproduct of where the class is and what the class has. So it's going to be an interesting draft this year. I mean, we got 25-year-old edge rushers going in round 1. That's just the nature of the class. But I promise you this, it will be exciting and it will probably be unlike anything that we've done. That's why we got to do some different things as we go through these mocks. So I appreciate y'all being in the building. If you are here in the Discord community live as we do this, y'all know it's all love. I appreciate y'all tapping in, being in the building. 1 hour, we're in and out. And if you are not and you're watching this on YouTube, highly encourage you to get in the group, get in with the chat. It's a dope Discord community talking all things NFL, fantasy, football, all that great stuff. So enjoy your day. Have a good weekend, and I'll do another one pre-combine next week, but it's been a while since we dropped one of these. Hit the thumbs up button, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all soon. I'm out. Peace.